What's going on, people? Today we're going to do a little tutorial on how to find the tempo of a song in Ableton Live 9 and adjust it accordingly so it always matches. And in this particular case, this is a live band. It's not a computerized or computer-generated music. It is live recording, all instrumental, no drums. Drums are hidden in the background. You might hear a little bit of them being picked up by the saxophone mics. I am also going to show you how to set up your Ableton Live with one track, basically so you can use it to play on a live setting, if you want to use this as backing tracks, basically. So here we go. Get your song up. That's your song. Turn off warp. Oh, before I go any further, let me mention in here, in your preferences, I originally did record the song with everything unwarped and the warping off because they were long tracks. These tracks are about 5-6 minutes long. And I did record at 96K with my built-in sound card on my Mac. I got a MacBook Pro. Just higher quality, nice clean recordings, doesn't sound distorted or with any artifacts. The higher the bit rate, the better you got. So, coming back to this, you have your song, turn off your warp, make sure your metronome's off. Let's set this to whatever. Let's say 120 is a standard. You don't have to set it to 120, but let's say you first open Ableton Live. That's what happens. What you're going to do is you want to keep everything off and play your track by itself. Go to your tap tempo. Okay, so basically I'm finding that it's somewhere between 108.5 and 109. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to 9 just because it's a little closer to 9. So you're going to right click on your track all the way to your right. You're going to choose Edit Launch Tempo. And we're going to put in 109 for the BPM and hit enter. Alright, now that you have that there, as soon as you hit this, you'll notice over here that this will change automatically to whatever tempo you have. See, 109. I already did a few other songs this way. If you notice, I'll click on the next song up. It'll go to the next BPM for the next song. You can hear it. I'll try something with a bit of a faster tempo. Okay, so the reason we're setting the BPMs, if you're not familiar with setting BPMs on the right side of the session view, basically it's for using it when you perform live. If you want to use your stereo track, which is what I have here, or if you have multiple stems of stereo tracks for your audio guy, for your sound engineer when you go to play at a venue, and then you want to have one output of just your click in your ear so you can follow along flawlessly, you can set up a keyboard to trigger this. Basically you say, where is it? Oh, I think it's over here. MIDI. Okay, so you click on MIDI. You click on whichever one of these you want to assign your MIDI keyboard to. Let's say that one. And you basically, at this point, if you have a keyboard, you hit whatever key you want or whatever MIDI device you have to control your play options. Most people would probably just use a MIDI keyboard, or if you want to use your key, you can actually hit that and select. Once it's selected, you can hit any key on the keyboard and it'll assign that. If you see the little letter on the bottom here, it'll assign it to whatever you want it to on your keyboard, so you can just trigger it off to the side if you're on drums or if you play keys or if whatever instrument you play and you want to run tracks. That's one way to set it up if you wanna go that road. Okay, so back to the tutorial. Okay, we found our tempo. We know that our tempo is 109, so let's click play just to get our tempo even over here. Alright, this is the best way I found to do this. You turn on your warp function. You automatically have a warp function or a warp flag on the top there. Let's go over here and find the very last beat. This looks like it's the last beat, so create one there, and now that that's selected, come over here and put in 109. So that way it matches your tempo everywhere on your scene and up in the metronome bar. Okay, now you notice that this might be way off to the right, depending on if you originally recorded at 120 when you first opened the program. So you might need to adjust that, bring it down some a little bit. So the whole thing's set at 109. You're going to have to make minor adjustments, unfortunately, but this is the fastest way I found to do this without having to throw things in and out of the arrangement view. So let's get started. First things first, let's hear what we've got going on before we even turn on the metronome. Okay, so we know that the first part of the song starts right there. What I like to do is I'll get rid of this first one and add one there. I'll put it on 2 on the second bar just for the purpose of having a whole bar of empty in my ear click, so I can hit play, hear the click, and let the band know we're getting ready to start. And you'll see in a second how I am doing this. So I first click there, and then I move it over, and then basically I just, let's hear it with the metronome. Okay, as you can see, that's playing too fast, so at this point we are going to throw a loop in here. Just grab 2 bars, basically 6 and 7. We're going to Control L to loop it. Grab this. That's pretty close. I always grab the right outside edge first, throw that in, and adjust the middle afterwards. If you hear there's really not much there, you don't have to get in and add every single hit point. Just a few basic ones. The idea too, if you're doing this with live recordings, is you would want to keep. Don't make it exact. It doesn't have to be exact science. You want to keep, if it's a live recording, you want to keep it kind of natural. Leave it with that natural flow where it falls in and out of time just a slight bit. If you're using it for backing tracks. Now, if you're using it for DJing, then I'd probably recommend getting into it full force. Get every single hit point, make everything exactly perfect. I will be using these tracks to jam with some other live musicians, so I want them to sound and feel as natural as possible. Okay, so I'm going to speed it up just so we can get towards the end. I'm not going to sit you make here and watch me do this for the next 5 minutes. So we'll resume in 1 second. Okay, we're back. I'm towards the end of the audio file now. Finish up. Alright, so that kind of ending, I probably won't even be paying attention to the click because it's a slow ending. But the rest of it seems to be pretty good. And that's basically it. Now, the next thing you want to do is crop your sample. Don't forget to turn off your loop function. Boom. Because if you don't turn it off and you're in the middle of finishing the song in front of a live audience and you forget to turn your loop off, then it's going to start the whole track all over again. And that's kind of embarrassing. You don't want to do that, especially during a show. So that's pretty much it. Here's other songs I've done earlier. Here's some with some actual drums in it, and it's all tempo tracked exactly the same way. I get it done pretty quick this way. It's the fastest way I've seen. I've checked online. I've seen other people's tutorials, and so far this is the fastest one I can come up with. So good luck, have fun, and I'll try and post some more Ableton videos in the future. Peace out.